Good morning. The Spartan Games are over. 4 days of fun, fitness, and frivolity. That's not what they called it, but that's what I am calling it. And ladies and gentlemen, it's over. It's done. We've got links below with all of the events, also a link with all of the athlete bios in case you forgot who was there. And this morning, the one, the only Hunter McIntyre. Of course, we can't give you results, but we can get his overall thoughts and feelings. And since we brought you one every day this week as this event happened, I thought we'd bring you Hunter this morning. Away we go.
Yeah, you look great. You're drinking coffee. Safety is our number one priority. You have a mask in the background. You're smiling. Yep.
How are you feeling? Physically, how are you feeling?
I mean, I have to speak for myself, but I feel like everybody feels like they're a little bit sick. Not like COVID sick. It's just like run down. Like the muscles all work. The body can do another day, but like everyone's kind of got like that cough and is like tired. Because you just, every single day we would wake up at like 4 or 5 in the morning because somebody weird would wake up with like their morning ritual. And then every single night, someone would go to bed around 12 or 1 o'clock at night. So the bookends of that is like only allows for about 4 to 5 hours of sleep a night. And then there's anywhere from 6 to 8 hours of competition, like probably like 3 to 6 to 8 hours of competition a day.
I see someone is awake behind you.
Grant's not really awake. That's a fragment of a man that used to be.
Mahalo, Grant.
Yeah, he says hi.
Dude, I thought he'd be happy to see me. He's too into his phone. What a millennial.
Post.
Did he
That's
say-
the world become. It was actually pretty refreshing to be up at the ranch, and everybody was on their phones inside the bedroom, but there was no service anywhere else in the farm, so you were kind of forced to actually engage with human beings for once.
Well, it seems like from the people I've spoken to and the IG stories that camaraderie is definitely one of, if not the highlight of the weekend.
You got there for sure, dude. It was pretty cool. They got there. Everybody, I think, came, didn't know each other, was nervous. By the end of the weekend, it was just like all hugs and kisses.
Well, I think this is the kind of event that you've, been looking forward to. Forget whatever the drama we've talked about the previous 2 days, just overall, from a production standpoint, from an event standpoint, how was it?
I think they did a really good job. I mean, it's obviously 1.0. Like everything was being discovered as it was being put in front of us. It was like the train tracks were being built as we were riding up on them. And I don't blame them at all. Like it's pretty crazy that they actually did put it together. Logistically, it's a lot. Athlete wise, it's a lot. Hours and time involved is a lot. But I think it was pretty cool. I would say the only thing that was kind of funny and a bit unruly that probably needs to be a little bit more ironed out by year 2 is like anytime an event got announced, the peanut gallery would show up. Like if it was an endurance event, the whole strength community would be like, that's ridiculous. We can't do that. That's so unfair. And then anytime there was a strength event, the endurance athletes are like, what? Who would lift such a weight? Like, why would we do that? And
But isn't that what they went there for? Like that's what they went there for.
I know, but they really pushed it to the extremes, so everybody actually accomplished the task. Like even the weakest person lifted the biggest weight kind of, and the least fit person covered the distance required. So it's like people actually accomplished the whole weekend. People didn't sit out, which was impressive.
So Nicole and Aaron mentioned something about that I didn't quite understand about if it's a 5-hour run, right? And one Hunter McIntyre covers a marathon and I only cover 3 laps, obviously don't get as many points, but they were saying that you could stop sooner. Like that part I didn't quite understand.
No, there was just like all of the workouts were for time rather than for distance. So that, like, if they said you had to run for 6 hours, 6 hours could be 6 miles, 6 hours version could be 60 miles. So they created a certain amount of distance you had to cover no matter what and the amount of time you were given. So, some people obviously were just flying around the mountain. Like there was this one girl who was a marathoner and just like, she's like on fire. It was actually pretty good. At first I was pretty upset about it because I was like, this is so much. It's not even testing fitness at this point. It's just like, who doesn't want to stop hiking? But no, I think it was actually a pretty good design.
So you're saying that for the time there was a minimum effort established, basically, so they couldn't just totally dog it. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, because there was events that you could be like, oh, well, I just don't want to do this. And if you didn't do it, then you'd get disqualified.
Talk to me about this Deca Heavy. I thought it was just going to be heavier weights of Deca, but it looks like they added completely new things. I saw I can't think of the name of it. What's it called when you stand and run in place?
True form. Yeah.
I saw a true form. I saw pull-ups, and I saw a stone carry.
I'm starting to recognize, and I hope this doesn't come across the wrong way, that Deca isn't any one thing. It's like whatever they want it to be that day.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like Deca is not defined by anything. I think people were really grasping onto the idea of what the first Deca Fit was that they created, and now it seems like they're going to make a ton of different iterations of it. Like Yancey was even telling me about Deca Ultra. He's like, well, we're going to build it in a stadium. I said, what is that? Because we're going to build it in a stadium and we're going to do 60 laps or something like that. And you're going to be there for 24 hours. I was like, that sounds like the worst thing ever. And he goes, people are going to love it. And that's their idea. So that's one version of Deca. There's Deca Heavy, there's Deca Fit, there's Deca Strong. It's, whatever they want it to be. It's just, Deca is just a number. So it's 10 stations of opportunities.
Hunter.
It is not going to work.
It's not going to work. But for my amazing, accurate article, I just wanted to know, you did a true form bike. You had pull-ups. What were the other ones? The regular Deca stations, or no? What were the other?
Farmers carry, assault bike, deadlift, box step overs, balls over the wall, carry the ball, sled pull, sled push, ram burpees, pull-ups.
That's a good memory. Well, listen, Hunter, everyone, I know you can't talk results yet, although I do want to record with you in like a week and we'll talk about the whole thing and then we'll wait till the show to air it or whatever. But
I don't think you can, they're going to, I'll interview with you again in a week. I like you, so I'll spend time with you, but I don't think they're going to give us the opportunity to share results.
Okay. Well, I was going to say, we'll just wait to air that part because I just can't wait to talk to you, because specifically, everyone basically said this is Hunter's event to lose. Hunter is the kind of only one of these people who sort of trains this way and sort of this cross training. Look at me, I'm this big 230-pound man, but I know how to run, right? So, were you, I don't know, surprised by anything? Were you when everyone was when the chirpy birds were chirping, that's too hard, that's too long? Were you like, great, this is just right for me?
No, I mean, I can honestly tell you that in the beginning, I was like, what? That's ridiculous. Or like, what? Like, I would kind of get myself a little bit flustered when they drop something on the table. Because there was ideas of what was really going to happen before we showed up, but they were all rumors. Like, they would never list anything. Like, at one point, I heard there's going to be a marathon run. At one point, I heard there was going to be maybe some kind of physical contact sport. At one point, I heard there was maybe some kind of Highland Games. Like, I kept on hearing things, and then all of a sudden you'd show up, and the marathon run turned into 6 hours of continuous running. And they're like, the bike ride, which was supposed to be, a leisurely trail ride, was up and down Joe's Mountain, for 5 hours straight. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I ride mountain bikes all the time. That's insane. Some of these people had never been on a bike before. So, that stuff, in the beginning, I guess I got a little bit like stirred, but then eventually, like, I think by day 2, I was like, this is just whatever gets put down on the plate. It's either you eat it or you walk away. And I was like, you got to just deal with it. So there was nothing like crazy. Like I'd done every single one of those things. I just, I either was very experienced and very prepared, or I was like, oh gosh, like if I want to win this thing, I have to do X amount of distance, or I have to do this well, or I'm screwed.
Did you show up with a win or else attitude?
Yeah, but that's how I do everything. So it's no different than it's ever been. Are we in bad service? Are you in bad service?
I'm just taking it all in. I'm so happy to be seeing you there in Vermont.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so am I. I'll tell you, by the end of this thing, like, I took probably about 2.5 years off of doing cardio, and like really like I just gave up on Spartan race because I was like, we've done this enough, Hunter. You started in 2011, now it's 2017. It's like, it's time to put it down and check out some other things before your career's over. And after this weekend, I can honestly say I was like, I'm kind of excited to come back. Like I would like to do this again. I'm gonna have to put the work in, but I would like to do this kind of stuff again. And like I'm right there. The battles between Atkins and I were just like they've always been. So it was pretty exciting. But like it felt to be good to just be outside and adventurous and get out of the gym. And I was like, wow, this is what I've been living for my entire life. I think I forgot what made me happiest. So I would say that Vermont, where I started back in 2013, living at Joe's farm, this is a 7-year reunion.
So the thing got brought up about Miguel's cabin, and Miguel commented on it, and it's so weird because like I remember that, and I don't think people know because it's been so long. Can you tell people about you and then Miguel living there for, what was it, a month or 3 months? Like, can you remind people about the legacy of that whole thing?
Well, Joe contacted me in 2013, like late spring, and was like, why don't you move to my place and train to be a world champion? I was like, yes, I'll take this opportunity. I broke up with my girlfriend. I packed up my bags. I left Malibu. I moved to Vermont. I drove across the country. And then all of a sudden I get there, and the first thing I get is an email from Joe. He shows me around. He goes, this is where you're going to live, this, and this. And he doesn't even tell it to my face. He just sends me an email that's like 5 pages long of all the chores I need to do every day. Of like rake leaves for 3 hours, carry rocks to the top of the mountain for 3 hours a day, do yoga for 2 hours, and like, beat the rugs for 2 hours a day. Then, go carry around trash and hours a day. I was like, dude, you're fucking nuts. I said, no. I just wrote back. I was like, no, I'm here to train to be a world champion. I'm not doing any of this shit. And he immediately left me alone. I think I'm the first person who's ever told him no.
Do you think maybe he was trying to do a Mr. Miyagi situation with the trash? Pick up the trash, put down the trash.
No. I don't think Joe has any rhyme or reason to his existence. So, and then I told Miguel, I was like, Miguel, this is a really cool opportunity. I was like, you should quit your medical interpretation job and come out here and come explore like what it's like to be a pro. And then Miguel got here, and Miguel fell into that bear trap so quick, where he basically was told he was going to come out there and build a cabin and live in it and train to be a champion. And he ended up just kind of like shoveling horse poop for like 6 months in the winter time.
What I said to him was, I said, I went into the general store, which is right there in Pittsfield, which everybody loves and goes to eat and meet at and whatever. And he was behind the grill, like making eggs. And I said, you did not look happy, Miguel.
He was making eggs?
That was one of the chores, was like work at the store. He was like a chef. You don't remember that?
No, I didn't even see that. See, that's what I'm talking about. It's like Joe wanted me to do stuff like that. And I was like, you're crazy, dude.
But Miguel sent me a nice long message. I don't know that I have his permission to read it, but basically it was like kind of like what he learned and how it ended up being great for him. And, there was good and bad out of it. But that's, I just think people had forgotten about that. And I had kind of forgotten about that until I remember going up there for the death race and seeing poor Miguel with a fucking apron on, cooking behind being a short order cook there at the general store.
Don Devaney was like the meanest person in the world to him. Like it was an experience.
Well, what are you going to do next? You seem to be training for long-term things, like you're working on High Rocks for a while. Well, first it was the games, then High Rocks. You're like, hey, so I know you've said I want to get back into OCR a few times. So what is training gonna look like for the rest of 2020? I know you just finished, but
I'm probably just gonna take it off, dude. Like my main focus is just succeeding in OCR stars. I just want to get this thing pumped up and handled well. Get all the athletes who are coming to compete with me just as professional as it was run with just the Spartan Games. So, the first event is only 2 weeks away in Los Angeles. The next one's in North Carolina. The next one's back in Los Angeles, and then the last to go do it with them. So a lot of work. And then after that, I'll probably just take the month of December off. And if I'm lucky, let's say like someone just puts a map down, we start competing again, and we'll start competing again early spring. I don't know if High Rocks is going to happen in December.
You're coming to North Carolina?
Yeah, I'm coming to North Carolina. We're going to do the same exact style experience that we did for Murph at that same gym.
Oh, maybe I'll come.
Yeah, dude, there's actually a lot of hot shots coming this time. It's going to be fun. You can bring your son again, and you can talk shit to me as we eat donuts.
That's awesome. Jackson
or is it River?
River is the littlest boy. He didn't come last time. Jackson is the one that called you Hunt the Pussy, or he came up with some crazy nickname for you. Remember?
Yeah. It was brutal.
So same gym, Evolution
to Athletics, November 8th, I think.
Is this the Hunter Chipper?
This is called the Gripper Chipper. Yeah.
Hunter McIntyre.
I'm going to make you actually do this workout because it's short enough that you've got no reason to say no.
Okay. Is it public information?
The workout?
Yeah.
It starts out with farmer's carries into lunges, into toe to bar, into burpee pull-ups.
How many
reps?
How many toes to bar do you think I can do?
I think if you took your time and you cared enough about it, you could finish all of them.
I don't think I can do one toe to bar, Hunter. I've never done a toe to bar. I've done some pull-ups. I don't think I can do a toe to bar.
Letting you know the likelihood that the zombie apocalypse is coming, and the first thing you need to be able to do when you're getting away from zombies is a toe to bar. So you should get that shit together.
Let's see if Faith can weigh in this. Faith.
Yeah, what's up?
I'm first of all, you're on the phone. You're texting and driving.
I was looking at the GPS to make sure we were going to the right place.
Are you going to Manchester or Boston?
We're going to the rental car place, and it's telling me to turn.
You didn't answer my question, Faith. You're failing this exam.
Oh, sorry, my bad. What's up?
Are you going to Manchester or Boston?
Boston.
I'm Boston, yeah.
Okay. I've made that drive many, many, many times.
It's telling me, well, we're going to the rent-a-car place.
Are you already in Boston?
No, we're about to exit on 26.
We're
to
close.
go to Burlington, Bedford, I guess.
Well, then you're still in Vermont.
No. We're 30 minutes away.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, I've made that drive. I always fly into Boston, even though it's further than some of the airports. I don't know. I just like to make it easy. There's the most flights out of Boston. But anyway, Faith, I have another question for you.
Yes.
I'm a 48-year-old man. I'm relatively fit. Okay. I know you can't see my physique, but I just did an ultra marathon. I just did a 50K. I am fitter than most. Do you think I have to do toes to bar to be able to escape the zombie apocalypse?
I mean, yeah, you'll be able to hang on a tree, kick the shit out of them while you're jumping into, like, bar muscling up into the tree.
So
Toe to bar, kick the crap out of them.
Okay, listen.
What if you can't, like, to jump up and be able to, like, lift your legs, kicking the zombies that are around you? Like, it makes sense. Hang and kick.
I'll take you up on that.
The zombie apocalypse is going to come from like deep swamp lands of Louisiana anyway. So,
yeah.
Well, I live in Atlanta, Georgia. What part of the world are you from, Faith?
Texas.
How did Joe find you? How did the Spartan team find you, or did Hunter recommend you?
Hunter recommended me to Yancey.
What do you do in the normal world? What's your day-to-day life?
I do a lot of strength stuff, so I do like pretty much zero cardio.
So did you you don't have to look at me, you can just answer. Did you suffer on the bike and the mountain runs?
I have never mountain biked in my I've been on a mountain bike tootling around, but not anything to do that technical of ride. But I survived.
What's your max deadlift, bro?
Oh my gosh, I don't deadlift. I do clean deadlifts, which means I set up in a clean position and pull the bar, but I don't know. I don't deadlift.
What about your squat? What's your max squat, bro?
I can squat 320, 325.
What's
Excuse me. I'm suffering from the same thing that
you guys all have this thing. Who's your protein sponsor, bro?
I work with Inspired Nutrition. They've helped me out a lot with supplements and protein and amino acids.
Stop looking at your phone.
I'm looking at the GPS.
Rest it in the thing. Put it in the thing.
What thing?
Are
you creating a thing for me?
It is that time of day where it's so sunny outside, you can barely see the road.
Hunter, do you have a sunglass?
Okay, we're going to survive.
Do you have a sunglass sponsor?
I can survive.
Hunter, do you have a sunglass sponsor?
No. Gooder hooked up OCR stars, so I'm pumped on Gooder.
Well, that's what I was trying to let you give them a shout out, buddy.
They're a really, really good company. They're kind. I individually I don't have a sunglass sponsor, but for the people of this great nation, internationally, nationally, locally, communally, I will say that the best sunglasses you can wear for the most affordable and fashionable find would be Gooder.
All right. Well, listen, Faith, I'll definitely reach out. I'd messaged you the other day. We'll talk longer when you're not.
I message you back.
You said yes. I think I said, can we talk? And you said yes.
Okay, cool. I was just making sure I responded to you.
I appreciate that. I know that you got a lot of DM sliding going on, so.
Not for anything good.
That's what I'm saying. So it's tough to get through that wall of DM slides. So I'm glad I was able to get on in there. Well, listen, Hunter, thanks for coming on short notice. And I guess, okay, can you tell us one thing? The one thing everybody wants to know is, what does this winter mean? Do we think November? Do we think December? Do we think February? When might this thing air?
I think winter is not a definitive term. It's more of an open idea.
Right.
So I'm ballparking 2022 to 2027. I sat down with the media team and I said, this is never going to get produced. They're like, oh, well, Joe told me I could do this, this, and this. And I was like, I've been working with Joe since 2012. And I will tell you, there's films that we've done together that have never seen the light of day. There's other films we've done together that should never have seen the light of day.
But I think the good thing, the reason they made a lot of promises. They listed 30 sponsors, so they must have promised those people something, right? So.
Yeah, but they always do that. That's really Spartan's also the same company as 6 protein sponsors, and they're like, well, contractually, it's not the same thing. It's this one's mocha chocolate and this one's dark fudge chocolate. That's a contractual obligation. They're like, well, you haven't read the fine print.
Whatever just said, is that Hunter?
What's up, big dog? Yeah.
This is River, by the way.
I know. I'm pumped to see you, River.
Are you really good at running?
I'm really good at running certain things. But yes, we'll say that yes.
Do you have an ultra-virus shirt or no?
He asked if you have an ultra-virus shirt.
No, your dad never gave me an ultra-virus shirt. I'll buy one if he sells them.
Even River recognizes the Hunter. You're one of the most recognized people in sport. Because he never met you, even Jackson did, but he knows you. Hunter McIntyre. All right, buddy.
I'm not talking bad on Spartan. I am very pumped that they put this thing together. I'm grateful. I'm really proud to see that the industry's pushing to get sport back together again. Maybe not on mass scale, but at least on some scale. And hopefully, it will inspire other people and get the things rolling in the right direction for everybody else in the near future. That's all I care about.
And thank you so much, Hunter. Also, Faith Evans and Grant McCartney sleeping in the back. I plan on talking to both of those folks very soon, so stay tuned for those upcoming podcast episodes. I'm going to try to get as many folks as I can. I know a lot of you are interested in these games. Let me remind you that you can support this channel by going to Patreon and giving as little as $2 a month. You join the fun, you join the secret club, you get some extra stuff, you get some early stuff, and you get to support obstacle racing by supporting your favorite obstacle racing content creator named me. That's right. Love you. Miss you. Mean it. I have got to run.